I'm Mary Louise Bianco Smith. My husband and I, Ken Smith, just hosted an Ogden family reunion at our home at 503 Bank Avenue called the Caleb Clothier House. The Ogdens were one of the most prominent families that lived in Riverton. Mr. Edward Ogden was the first mayor of Riverton. He also served in the Civil War. He owned many banks. He founded the Yacht Club, the Riverton Country Club, and his wife Sarah, she did quite a bit for Riverton also. She helped found the Porch Club, developed a school for colored children, and developed another school, sewing school, for destitute women. The Ogdens contributed so much to the Riverton and its history, as did Caleb Clothier, one of the original founders of Riverton. He was a Quaker, and he was the founder of the Pennsylvania Anti-Slavery Society. He was also a founder of Swarthmore College and a member of Abolition Hall. The Ogden family, who we hosted this weekend, they're the great-great-grandchildren of Edward U. Ogden and Sarah Morris Perot Ogden. Greta Ogden Nevin Wright and her twin brother, Perot Ogden Nevin, visited us about 6 years ago with their father, who was in his late 90s, and it was on his bucket list to come to Riverton, his hometown. We had a wonderful visit. On Saturday, July 29th, we were guests at the 5th annual Edward H. Ogden Golf Tournament at the Riverton Country Club. They were so wonderful. We had lunch there, and we got to tour the original building, one of the original buildings, and we, most importantly, got to see who won the golf tournament. And the winners of the golf tournament had to put on the Ogden beard, and even the descendants put on the Ogden beard. It was a wonderful time.
Looks like it. All right, everyone look at me real quick. 1, 2, 3.
Earlier yesterday, we went to visit the Riverton Library. Sarah Ogden, she was very concerned with educating children. And when her husband died, in memory of his death, she bought the Riverton Library and named it in his honor, the Edward H. Ogden Library.
This is the library that Sarah Ogden donated in memory of her husband Edward Ogden when he passed away in 1903, and we're so proud to be here to be able to tour it. We've never been inside it before, and we're honored.
So the library gave us a wonderful tour of their building, and guess what? Next door we went to the sailor home. Now they lived in Riverton, the sailors, and they lived in what is called the Campbell Soup Home. Well, Janet and Dennis DeVries live there now, and they were so nice to host the Ogden descendants and take them through the home.
He brought us in to one of these homes. I don't know if it was this one, but an elderly lady lived here, and he knew exactly who it was.
Janice and Dennis DeVries were so nice. When they were redoing their house and scraping wallpaper and cleaning behind radiators, they found a birthday card that was for the grandmother of Greta and Perot. So Dennis and Janice gave to Greta and Pete a memento, that birthday card. Also yesterday, we went to the Riverton Porch Club. The Porch Club is a women's organization that was started by a few women in Riverton, and they used to meet right here on the porch of the Caleb Clothier House. Mrs. Ogden used to host the ladies, and it started out as a cultural group where they talked about topics of the day: slavery, women's rights, voting, reading books, and children. From the ladies meeting on the Porch Club, they opened up the Riverton Porch Club. They received money from their husbands and were able to purchase the land and build a porch club. The Porch Club is still in existence today. It has over 200 members and still does many charitable activities to help women and children. Later that day, we watched the sailboat races at the Riverton Yacht Club. Oh, what a beautiful day. And the Riverton Yacht Club recognized the Ogdens because Edward Ogden was also founder of the Yacht Club, and he was a Commodore at the Yacht Club. He had a nice barbecue in the evening, and we all had a wonderful time. Pete even got to sing.
Most of them dream, yes, I am a pirate. Help me out, would you? Yes, I am a pirate. 200 years too late. Occupational hazard is my occupation's just not around. Feel like I've drowned, but I won't wear a frown, no way. Lord, I feel like I've drowned. Gonna get drunk uptown. Thank you all. And to my great-great-grandfather. Thank you, Sean.
On Sunday, July 30th, Calvary Presbyterian Church hosted the Ogden descendants at a 10 a.m. service, followed by lunch, because Harriet Ogden Nevin married the Presbyterian minister Charles Wordsworth Nevin. After their ceremony, which was led by his father, they all came back to the Caleb Clothier house here at 503 Bank Avenue for the wedding reception. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon at the house, we had a commemorative event celebrating the life of the Clothiers and the Ogdens. My husband Ken and I portrayed Sarah Morse Perot Ogden, that's why I'm in this beautiful costume, and my husband played Edward U. Ogden. And we hosted and led a wonderful ceremony of which many people in the town came together. We had Valerie Still, a descendant of William Still, come and speak about slavery and the times and how awful it was, and that there were many abolitionists that did help the fugitive slaves escape.
The people that we're honoring today, this house that represents a safe haven, it was dangerous at that time to take that kind of stand. In 1851, between 1815 and 1860 was the height of the Underground Railroad. The enslaved were escaping from the moment they were captured in Africa. They were trying to escape.
We had, of course, the Ogden descendants, Perot, Pete, and Greta speak. We had the mayor of Riverton, Suzanne Carnes Wells, who gave a proclamation. We had the Riverton Commodore, the Vice Commodore, come and give a presentation. We also had the Riverton Country Club. Oh, they were so nice, and they gave each family member a commemorative book. We had the Porch Club come, the new president, Phyllis Rogers, and she gave some artifacts from Sarah, and she spoke about how the incorporation papers for the Porch Club were signed right at this home. We also had a Caleb Clothier reenactor. Thank you to Jeff from the Burlington County Historical Society, who came and spoke about Caleb Clothier and what it was like to live at that time. In addition to that, we had a former mayor come, Bill Brown, who is currently the president of the Historical Society. But even more wonderfully, everybody was wonderful. The whole town came together. We had singers, some from Calvary Presbyterian Church, led by Dr. Diana Dorman, lead us in singing Down to the River to Pray. We've recreated in the basement what it may have looked like in the 1850s. In sections of the basement, we have a stove, we have items that they would have used in cooking. There's a cupboard filled with antique bottles and masonry jars. There's also an ice pit of which they would have stored their fish and their meats and fruits and vegetables. Also in the basement, we have a bricked up wall which we were able to open up a portion of it to see the passageway through to the yard. We had a great time, and we hope the Ogden descendants, and more importantly, all the children and the people that attended today, remember to teach history to their children, to respect the legacy of what the forefathers of this town did for the area and what their own families can do for the future. Because it's all about history, legacy, manners, courtesy, and kindness.